It is I, Menace Snowdecker. Welcome back to another YouTube video of BeyBlade Land. And before I start, I need to figure out what the heck is up with all this lighting. My gosh, what is this? Is this the... Is this that new feature that they added out? Okay. I'm gonna be honest, this lighting makes this all look absolutely ugly. Okay, let's take a look here. Da 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 da. Take that, hackers. Take that, griefers. Do 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 do. Where the heck was it? Video? You know what? Just make that 14. I don't even care. Supposedly, Minecraft put in... I don't even remember what it was called, and I don't even remember where it was. Some type of shader. No, that's just going to be controller stuff. So I gotta go back to the main screen and manually turn all that off. You know, I really don't like doing this type of stuff. I like having stuff set at one feature and not having it overridden. Graphics mode. Simple. Is that what I have to do? Okay, good. Let's try this again. Okay, that's way better. That is way better. I'm sorry, but that lighting was ugly. It made it all look horrible. I'm not going to work in that. Okay, Tyranno beat. Let's see if we can get some more of you built today after that major amount of time wasting. That's 3.5 minutes of my life I'm never going to get back. Thank you, Mojang. You're welcome, Menace. I was being sarcastic. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I got all this fat metal here that I would like to try to get rid of, because it just feels off. It looks off, too. Let's see, you got 6 on one side. Is that 6 or is that 7? No, that is 6. Okay, well, that is 6. Right. I gotta replicate this. This is gonna be my last build for a little while, because I'm realizing that there is a bit of a problem with how I built all this. Notice how I'm building a line path, and I'm gonna have bays on either side, extending across each type of version. Okay, well, I realized there's 4 different generations. There's Burst, there's X, there's the Metal Fight series, and then there's one that came before all 3. And I can't just put all 4 paths on here simultaneously side by side, because it will not end well for me. So I need to create some type of design layout where I can still have all this in here and they're not going to overlap each other. I have a design input in mind, but it means I'm going to have to build a separate location and change the spawn point. And that's going to take definitely some doing. And I still need to make that piece bigger, but I can worry about that later. For now, I just want to focus on this. One thing at a time. No more, no less. Okay, so first off, thicken that part up. Double it. That was way too thin of a piece. A tad better. Now, duplicate. On second thought, no, scratch that. I cannot duplicate both sides simultaneously. The metal design on this side is completely different from the metal design on that side. So I now have my first little unique dilemma here. The side design work for Tyranno B looks to be almost exactly identical on both sides. So there's 4 diamonds here on one of the major contact points, and you got 3 giant pieces of plating made out of metal as well. However, even though the sides look almost identical, the top is completely different. So on this point here, you have a whole bunch of diamond facing pattern. I don't know if I can get that. Okay, there you go. There's a good view. See all that up in here? All that's diamond plated pattern. But you look at the bottom, and there's not as much of it. So there's not as much on the bottom as there is on the top. And I can't tell if my audio is being picked up because my mic's too far away from my face. Hi! Okay, yeah, it's working. I couldn't tell. I'm trying to focus on 3 feeds simultaneously, and I don't know, I just failed there. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to focus on the bottom one first, because that one looks to be a little bit more simplistic, a little bit less complex. It seems to me like they tried to create the same design for the diamonds, but because of the 3 sections that cover the face bolt, some of that plating just got removed to make room for that. So it gives off this vibe that it was meant to be identical, but then they just scrapped it all together. And they left these rather ugly gaps right there and right in there. Speaking of which, that too looks a tad bit off. Am I looking at this correctly, or do I got a part? I sure hope not. Get there. Okay, no, that is accurate. I was wrong. I was wrong. I just couldn't tell fully. I haven't been here in 2 weeks. Cut me just a little bit of slack here. Most people forget a person's voice after about a month. And there's so many blocks in Minecraft. There really are. Mine's still small, though. It'll get bigger eventually. This world. Okay, so where am I going to start here? I basically got the 3 points there. So I can skip that for now. I might have to extend it downward eventually. Okay, scratch that. I need to adjust this. First one starts right in there, so that does seem... Wait a minute. Huh? Um... How am I supposed to recreate that? Are you kidding me? Did I seriously do that part wrong? I did that part wrong. Son of a... Calm down. Calm down. Calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down. Find your happy place. Find happy place. Find happy place. Happy. Where is the flash? I'm tripping. That freaking can't spell. Gimme. This doesn't make sense to you, but this is absolutely mental saving for me. So just give me a moment and I'll explain everything. After I calm my nerves. I'm not fully calm, but that does make me feel just a little bit better. I'm sorry, I have a major zombie flesh addiction. Major. So that does calm me down a little. I did these 3 points wrong. Here, and here. Yes, there are 3 points, but I have them in all the wrong spaces. First of all, this one needs to extend closer to the end. Second of all, that one needs to be a little bit thicker. Third, this one goes all the way up to here. I got the sizes horribly wrong there. So I need to destroy this whole section, and I gotta redo it, but because of this steep angle here, I have no idea how I'm gonna put that plate in. I messed up. I messed up horribly. How did I do that so bad? Did I do the same thing on the other side? Yes, I did. Fine. One side for now. I'll focus on the other one later. Delete all this. Abominatory work I've done here. I had the right idea, but I did this all wrong. I did this horribly wrong. What have I done? Okay, delete all that for now. Just get rid of it. Get rid of all of it. I had the right idea when I designed it, I just put it all in the wrong spacing. So, we'll come back to that for now. Just add a white block there so I know I gotta come back. First things first, I'm gonna fix the top section. Because I need to get that diamond pattern in there somehow. Some way. It might be better if I use buttons, if I'm being perfectly honest here. It's kind of frowned upon in some aspects. I understand why. But if I'm going for a checkered pattern, that's probably my best bet right there. Because these points are very, very small. And I know using a rectangle is going to look stupid, but I don't have many other options here that I can possibly think of that might even come close. Yeah, I definitely don't have many other options. Okay, first things first, fix the blade. I need to fix that blade. How did I botch that so horribly? How did I not notice? Okay, yes, that builds up. You line with the plastic section, so I need to get you a little bit closer. That looks awful. Tad better. Delete some of that fat in there. Still looks a bit chunky. Okay, tad better. Evened it out slightly. Made more of a point. Okay, next up, that diamond pattern. How am I going to recreate that in here? Let's see. There's 6 on the side to the left of that point, and there are 7 on the side. Oh, wait, no, there's 7. There's 7 on the left side, too. Wait, no, make that 9. 2 of them are made out of plastic. Do I have any red ones that I could use? Por favor? Mangrove? I mean, that is close. I can work with that. Okay, 9 on one side, 7 on the other. Okay, so there's our point. 2 right next to it. I'm not going to get this a fully accurate design, but I can get it close. Okay, so there's 2 in here. Boop. Boop. Another one up top. And then 3 more. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, that checks out. It's not fully accurate, but that's pretty much as close as I can get it given the steep angle. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get this fully accurate with the amount of space I have. It is unfortunate, but that is just how it's going to have to be. Actually, no, leave that one. That. Okay, yeah. Better. Definitely better. Okay. Now I gotta add, what'd I say, 7? Yeah, 7. 7 on the other side. I don't feel like I'm making a dinosaur. I feel like I'm putting gemstones on some bracelet for a high-end luxury profile company. Like Louis Vuitton or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with my life anymore. Put one here. Actually, a lot of these are pretty tight in formation. So I'm trying to squeeze these in just a little bit more. So 2, then 2. We got 1 up, and 1 down. And that actually lines up almost. No, it does not line up. I thought it did. I was wrong. It has to go to the red point here. not that one. It has to line up to about right there. So I need to stretch this. Kinda like that, but that doesn't look accurate to me. Part of the problem is because of that one. Okay, that is a tad better. And does that line up with? Yes, it does. Okay, that's perfect. It lines up with that red point and the contact point down here, if you look at it closely. So that does seem relatively accurate. Now I have to fix that horrible plate design I had. Okay, where does it start? Okay, right there at the contact point here, where it starts the curve, and it lines up with this section covering the faceplate. So I need to go to about there, bring it down, and it glides across, so that section was correct. However, it does not go across here. It stops right here at this section. And then it pokes out a little bit. Kind of like that. But it doesn't go down any further, so there's still a bit of spacing in here. And coincidentally, there is also one of those little circular sections that they tend to make when they merge two different materials together, like a metal casing on a plastic Hot Wheel bottom, for example. The exact same thing they used here. But it lines up inside, and you can't really see it all too well. And it goes just above where this is. So and I'm just gonna go with that. Actually, it's built up a little bit higher into it. Could I even do that? No, I cannot. So we're just going to skip that then. If I had built the BeyBlade a whole lot bigger, then I could have added that. But point is, one of those little circular contact points that I put in here, these things, that is right in there, but I can't put that there. I do not have enough space to do what it is I need to or want to do here. And I don't really have a good recipe to build that in Minecraft, if I'm being honest. So I'm just going to ignore that and focus on the plating. Actually, no, delete that one because it tends to curve inward. So a second one comes out. It merges with the blade here. It glides across the top section. It starts pretty much right where that one leaves off. But how much space does it take? Goes over that whole section. And it looks like it lines up with the back ends here of the head. So there we go. We now put that in. That one doesn't really extend as much. I mean, it's noticeably there. No, I'm just going to put these in here to signify that this whole section pokes out. It's going to look a little bit funny, but kinda gives off the reference, just not fully. And this whole section also angles. So let's just go ahead and do that. The third one is a lot smaller. And it ends just shy of the actual end of the blade. It creates a small little divot in here that you can see on the bay, but here I cannot replicate that. Not fully. Make that at all. So that's pretty much the best I can do in that regards there. The blade itself is meant to be more pointed, so I do believe that's the best I can do in that regard. The part that I don't like is the fact that these are so tiny, and there's still this giant chunk of space here that I know is inaccurate because these little diamond patterns are supposed to be bigger. They're supposed to cover that almost that whole area. So somewhere in here, I definitely goofed up a bit. And I cannot fix that the way that I need to or the way that I want to. There might still be a way, though. Oh, look at that. The rain stopped. I can make it closer if I just make these a little bit larger. See, notice how close together that looks? That looks awful. It looked great when they were small, but not so much when they're big. They're supposed to be extending over this area. So by doing this, it forces me to make them take up more space, which will in turn make it look just a little bit nicer, even if not by much. And I suppose we could use the red carpet, even though it isn't going to match fully. Is a tad better, even if not by much. Shockingly, that actually blends in a little bit. It gives off a lighter color due to the light grays that are in there. Well, this one appears darker. Sadly, though, Tyranno Beat does not shine like that, so I'm going to be taking that out. I do like that color look, though. I'm doing this to give off a little bit more of a blade appearance. because blades are known for being sharp. I know it's not fully accurate, but that is pretty much the best I can possibly do with what I have here. Now I just gotta finish this side. Then we can work on the last blade next time. So again, we got 4 diamond patterns on the side. I cannot recreate that. But I do have an idea. Something I can do that is similar. So I'm noticing that we got 3 here. Can I potentially trick the system here? Can't help but wonder. I got 3 spacing in there. Is it at all possible? I think that's a no. If I had more space, then I could have done that and just hidden it from view and nobody would have been any the wiser. But I cannot do that. Let me just see here. Okay, 2 big ones, 2 small ones. Starting about there. Actually, wait, I don't even have to do that. I could just... Yeah. Yeah. That works out a little bit. I mean, not fully, but... What's interesting about this is you can still see the pattern inside the metal, and it pokes outward. So that gives off an impression that it is sticking out. No. There you go. It's not beautiful. It's relatively ugly. I'm fully aware. And I accept the consequences for that. Ugh, it looks ugly on screen. I mean, it looks like somebody took a bite out of it. I'm going to be honest. The Bey looks like that. The build looks like that. I never said it was beautiful. I'm just doing what I think has to be done. And another thing, the plastic sticks up in between these areas. Just a little. And only a little. Like so. Then it branches up in here, almost in a circular pattern, like a small wave. Then you have your 4th one right in there. Right where it dips down. And then it levels off with the metal. It's not beautiful, but that is pretty much the best I can do. Yeah, I'm definitely making these bigger from now on. I thought I could shrink the face bolt just by a couple blocks to a standardized size and it wouldn't be an issue, but I was wrong. I was horribly wrong. So from now on, I'm going to be extending them back to this size. If my mind wasn't made up before, it certainly is now. I need more space so I can try to add in more detail. Because this, although it works for me, I know from experience this design work would definitely upset and piss off quite a few Minecraft builders. And honestly, this even pisses me off a little bit just looking at it. It looks like somebody just rigged the game, pulled out a shotgun, and said, "Hey, let's try to put divots in Minecraft." Okay. And that was the result. It's nasty. It's horrible. I can make it a tad better if I just get rid of that point. Definitely a tad better. Still ugly, though. It's still ugly. You know what? I'm just going to leave it like that, and I'm just not going to touch it further. And next time we can focus on this last blade here. How does it look from a distance, though? It looks so see-through. Down there towards the middle. You know, it actually kind of looks like a face. It looks like the blue section is teeth, the red spots are eyes, and that right there is the nose. It looks like a face staring at me. I find it funny. I could easily just see somebody making a meme out of this, just me staring at it. And then they just write on there, "Bruh." Quit looking at me! No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hi. Hey. Hey, 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 hey. Have you heard? What big nose you have? Did he just snort at that comment? Okay. He was probably snorting, saying, "Oh, you're one of those people." What do you mean, those people? Really obnoxious and make sarcastic comments. But sarcasm's funny. Are you saying you don't like a little bit of humor in your life? That's, it's pretty sus, dude. I see you eyeballing me down there. That's right, I know you're looking at me. He's like, "Nope, nope, what do you mean? I'm walking away." Yeah, I see you trotting. You're a big fat liar. Definitely turning away, saying, "You don't know me at all, bro." Yeah, you're right, I don't want to know. That's why I'm walking away. Have fun getting your fur soaked. All your hairs. He's still eyeballing me. I'm just not going to look. Alright, I'm just going to end this here. And we can pick this up next time. Those weird sounds again. Alright, well thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked the video, personally I hated it, but if you liked it, then give it a like. If you want to see more, then please subscribe. And like always, this is Menace Snowdecker signing off, and I will see you you next time. So bye-bye. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to smile, because remember, a smile a day goes a long way. And I hope to see you all back here again soon. Move over, Gollum. I'm going to join you. Hey, one more thing before you go. Could you please check out the links in the description below? Give them a follow. And join the Discord server as well. And before, leave and everything, why don't you recommend some more BeyBlades for me to build? And while you're at it, some games for me to play. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.